What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and I'm shooting my second video today. You're probably not going to see both. You're probably going to notice I'm wearing the same clothes because, yeah, I'm shooting back-to-back videos, bashing them up, so I can have another video for another day. But, yeah, I wanted to talk about, so this goes with my business goals, my goals of starting my own business, right? And I wanted to talk about why I think you should leave your hometown. I don't think you should stay in your hometown. And yeah, I think it's easier to zero in on your goals when you leave your hometown. And here's why. So the first reason would be that, first of all, I went back to New York like last week, a couple weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was back in New York. But yeah, I was back in New York a couple weeks ago. I went back to my parents' house. I was staying there just for a week, right? Just 1 week I was there. I already felt friction, like more friction for my goals. First of all, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat like junk food. Right? If I eat out, I make sure it's like healthy, something I could eat that's fairly healthy, and I track it too. But when I was back at home, I noticed I was resisting like sugary things, sugary junk food, like donuts, cookies, pizza, stuff, little stuff like that. Like stuff that like guilty comfort food, right? I was resisting that constantly, and I even ended up indulging in it. And since I've been in Chicago, I have not been eating that at all. The only sweet things I've been having are protein bars and protein shakes and honey. I love honey. And I put it in my Greek yogurt. But that's not the point. Another thing is people, maybe they're used to, it could be friends, it could be old friends, it could be old family, it could be old colleagues, it could be people that knew the old version of you before you moved. And maybe they vent their problems to you, which I'm not saying that don't help someone if they're going through something. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that when people are constantly venting their problems, that rubs off on you. I'm just letting you know that. It's not something that you exactly want to do. We've all done it. But it's like subtle sabotage. Like, be very careful when people vent to you, because that's negative energy that they're giving to you, and then even that little negative energy could sabotage your goals, right? Like starting a business, as I said before, right? I also noticed another thing I struggled with, and that's there was entertainment everywhere. There were smart TVs in every room, including my room. I never turned it on, but there was always the TV was always on. There was Netflix. There were sporting events, which I love sports, but it's not gonna get me to my goals, right? It's not gonna get me to create value. So, but there's just constant distractions, right? That's not gonna help. And I'm not saying life is about work, but you kind of have to do a lot of work to make something out of yourself, right? To reach some sort of success, you need to do some work. You need to do a lot of it too, not a little bit of it, right? And the thing is, I'm using willpower to resist all of these temptations around me, right? All of these temptations, I'm using constant willpower. I'm basically using up my energy, right? My willpower energy, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? I'm using it to resist that stuff instead of just using it on my goals, right? That's another thing too. You want to reinvent yourself. Robert Greene in the 48 Laws of Power. There's a law. I think it's Law 25. Recreate yourself. I forgot the number. I might get it wrong, but it's one of the laws. It's recreate yourself, right? And how are you supposed to recreate yourself if you're around people that anchor you to your old self, your old beliefs? Maybe you used to have anger issues. I know I did. And imagine people like being like, "Oh, well, we know you have anger problems," or like it's like I'm not like that anymore. But people project what they know about you, right? And that's the thing when you're starting a business, right, or any endeavor that you do, you have to do some sort of recreating of yourself. You're not going to just be the same exact person. You have to become something different. You have to become a better version of yourself to achieve that goal. How the hell are you supposed to achieve that goal by being the same version of you or being around people that are projecting the old version of you onto you? I don't think that's conducive to your goals at all, right? It's also too comfortable, right? That's another thing I noticed when I was in my hometown. It's very comfortable. Like family's nearby, everyone's nearby, old friends are nearby. I'm very familiar with the area. I know where everything is. I don't really have to have a new friendship circle. I don't really have to do new things. It's like I'm very familiar with it. That's not gonna get you to your dreams. Being familiar, being overly comfortable, having the same old social circle. It's not. It's gonna keep you average, right? And you're watching this. I'm hoping it's because you don't want to be average. That's the thing. Do you want to be average? Because if you're in that environment, it's gonna be hard to. You're gonna be facing more of an uphill battle, right? And that's the thing. You don't want to be comfortable. You have to put yourself in a situation that you're uncomfortable. Like here, I made it here to Chicago. Why did I come here to Chicago? Because I don't know anyone. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family, right? I don't have any social circles. I don't have any connections here. So it forces me to have to do something, create value out of thin air, start my business, go to networking events, go do something, create some sort of value to the marketplace, right? It forces me to have to freaking do something about it. That's why I did it. That's why I'm here right now and I'm not in New York, right? And that's the thing. And even living with family, it's another comfort trap, right? Say you're living with parents, they cook, they clean for you. That's nice in theory, but especially I'm assuming you're an adult watching this or you're looking to become a man, some sort of man, right? Do you really want your parents to be doing stuff for you? Because I don't. It's not gonna get me closer to becoming a better version of myself. So you gotta learn how to just become an adult and live like an adult, live independently. So, and all these little comfort things like the sugary snacks, like family cooking for you, cleaning for you, maybe friends inviting you out to get drunk with them, get drinks. All of that is going to make you complacent. It's going to make you comfortable. And the last thing you want to be is complacent. Because then it's going to be even harder to go after your goals, right? Another thing, this is something that really I noticed really bothered me, and I couldn't control it. Every single month, there was always some sort of hidden obligation, right? Especially you live with family or you live near, maybe you're still in your hometown, maybe you moved out and you still live near family, right? Or friends, right? Old friends. There's always hidden obligations. There's Friday nights out, Saturday nights out, Sunday football, right? There's Christmas, so you do nothing. Maybe you sit down, you wear an ugly Christmas sweater, you drink eggnog. Maybe you get a little drunk on Christmas Eve, so you're hungover that day. But you're not doing work, right? And I'm not saying that. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're serious. You have some sort of ambition in you, right? But if you have some sort of ambition, right, you want to reach your dreams, you want to reach your goals, You're not gonna, you can't live in moderation. And it's not that these things are bad within itself, right? It's not that these things are bad, it's that they add up, right? So Friday, right, weekends, right? So say you take the day off on the weekends, right? Right? And then maybe there's Christmas, and Christmas is on a Wednesday this year, right? And then there's Thanksgiving, which is on Thursdays. Maybe if you're in Canada, Canadian Thanksgiving, which is October, I think, right? 4th of July, right? And that's the thing, First Man, his YouTube channel, love his YouTube channel. He's talked about this, and he calls it the calendar effect, right? The Super Bowl, sporting events, St. Patrick's Day, an excuse to get drunk, an excuse to spend money on stuff. Your birthday, which my birthday's coming up soon, but your birthday, right? My birthday, the other person's birthday, which causes you, I gotta spend money on this, clothes, maybe alcohol, maybe an Uber, stuff like that. Tom's birthday, so we gotta celebrate Tom's birthday and spend money and time, right? The thing is, when you follow this calendar, right? This calendar that everyone follows, you start realizing that you're wasting a lot of time. And when you waste a lot of time, right? You're gonna waste a lot of time. How are you supposed to become successful if you're wasting a lot of time? That's like, time is like the biggest need for success, right? And that's the biggest reason why I moved away, actually, because there was always something going on. I was like, I want to zero in on my goals, and there was always a week, a month that there was something going on, right? Like if I was home, I probably would have been forced to celebrate my own birthday. I don't even want to celebrate my birthday. I'm probably gonna do the same thing on my birthday that I would have done any other day, right? Because I have my own goals, as I mentioned. So that's why I chose a city with no friends, no family, because it forces me to grow. There's no safety net, and yeah, I could focus on my goals, on my business. I could focus on building social media for you guys. I can focus on reading. I can focus on learning, studying, learning a new language. Like any of that stuff. I could focus on that, and that's really it right there. That's why I truly believe you need to leave your hometown if you really want to be successful. You want to reach your goals, because it's already isolating enough. Because most people aren't gonna understand. You're gonna go a long time being misunderstood, right? And I'm going through that right now. I'm going through being misunderstood. But if you're constantly getting pressured to do things, or you're resisting chocolates in the house, how are you supposed to reach your goals? Those little things add up. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I just thought this is a really good topic to talk about, because I know that I can't be the only one. At least I know there's people out there who think very similar to I do, and are ambitious like I am, that feel like they're trapped in their hometown. You need to find a way, if you can afford it, get out. If you are thinking about it, get an Airbnb, like what I'm doing, and just build yourself up somewhere else. That's what I highly recommend. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys shoot me a follow, leave a comment below, and leave a like, so I'm recommended more in the algorithm. Thank you guys so much, and